Good stuff.
Okay, so the first question, name business and social media handles.
Okay. My name is Dre Brown. My business is I have a dual-sided career, but I focus mainly in the beauty industry. I am an empowerment and wellness speaker, as well as a professional makeup artist. And I work primarily in TV and content creation. And you can find me on the gram. I'm on Facebook as well, for those who use Facebook. But my Instagram is the underscore Dre underscore Brown. And as well as at MUA underscore Dre, which is my artist page. So if you are looking to see my work, it's on that side. I use both professionally, but they're definitely different conversations. So check them both out.
Wow. Now, what brought you to this field, and how long did you know, like, this is what I want to do, or did you? Like, tell me a little bit more about your aha moment.
Oh, honey. Well, my career did not follow like a linear trajectory. It was mostly like I knew I was creative. I knew I was going to college, and I knew that I didn't want to go back to Norfolk, Virginia. I wanted to go to some big city and start this, very magical life. But it started, I went to Howard University and I studied communication. So my degree is actually in journalism. So I started as a writer, and I focused on business and public relations. So when I got out of college, I started working in media. I always wanted to work in entertainment, something in television, something in, the arts, something. So when I started my career, I originally was in production and marketing and television. So I wasn't working in beauty per se, but I had started doing makeup in college, creatively, just as for expression, but it turned into a thing because I went to Howard University where everything is a production. Yeah. And so I got a lot of actual skill application because I, worked on fashion shows and different photo shoots and different things. And so when I came to New York, I didn't make a lot of money. So I was like, I need a hustle. So I was like, Clark Kent was the TV job and Superman was beauty. So I worked at beauty counters. I started there was no, like, being a makeup artist was not as sexy as it is now because there was no Instagram, there was no YouTube or anything. It was just like, okay, you really, really want to do this. So I was like out there in the streets, hustling makeup on the side. And then maybe the aha moment that you asked about, that happened years into my career. I had a really successful Clark Kent life. So my day job actually was dope. I worked in TV. I worked for really cool networks. I had a job that was fulfilling, but I knew that there was more to what I wanted to do. And so as I grew as a woman, like as I matriculated through my life, the learnings that I was having just of self were influencing the kind of work I wanted to do. So I didn't want to, I wanted to work on projects for women because I was always thinking about what I was going through. So I wanted to work on things and work with brands that cared about that. So that led me through my TV career to eventually where I worked for a woman focused network. I worked for WeTV and I worked in their partnerships and public affairs group, which really focused on, working with different brands, but also doing things that were cause related, focused on women. So I worked there for about a year and a half, and I had an aha moment where I was like, you know what, I had become a successful makeup artist in the 10 years since I moved to New York at this point. And so I had two things going, and they were both going well, but I had to decide at some point what world I was really going to choose. So I left that. It was my last corporate position, and that was in 2013. I left there, started a consultancy, and also started focusing on makeup, and then that led to all that you guys know right now, which is this kind of double-sided beauty and empowerment thing that I've been doing. Did that make sense?
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Okay.
I mean, your resume is just, we need the whole interview to speak about your resume.
I mean, I am grateful. I think the abundance that I've been able to have in my career has been variable, meaning like, you know, you have peaks and valleys. There's no straight shot to the top, but it's always given me new skills and new things to leverage. So it's like, you know, when I tell people like, yeah, I started my career in TV, where I was writing treatments and working with producers and, you know, figuring out messaging and being on set. Now I'm actually, oftentimes I'm working on set as makeup artist, you know, and my knowledge of the other side of it comes into play. And I often get looks like, why do you know that? And I'll be like, it's a long story, but just, you know, just trust me. You know, and so the worlds collide often. So it's not, so I know in my mind, I'm sure that I had that experience for a very specific purpose of planting some seeds that now everything that I work on has a content element.
And it came full
circle. Yeah, it has been full circle. And it helped a lot because now that my job puts me in front of the camera, it makes me a lot more, I understand what's happening a lot better. And yeah, and content is everything now. So I'm not mad at that 8-year TV career at all.
Look, before Instagram, before content and people had to make videos. I mean, you have to make a mini commercial to keep people intrigued these days. And I'm saying,
honey, you got to have special effects, a stunt woman. I'm like, I don't have a stunt woman. Do I need to have one for my IG lives? Do I need somebody to do my stunt?
I'm bringing your son in. Okay, this is your turn, girl. Like, what's up?
Whoa.
So, if you are not working, what would be a typical day for you? Your hobbies and or guilty pleasures. Let's do pre-quarantine and quarantine.
Okay. Funny, a lot of them are the same. Thankfully, I haven't had to, you know, get too creative out here with my hobbies, but I like keeping my creative skills sharp. So pre-quarantine, I travel. I just like literally, if I can get on a plane and go somewhere and just like switch up my environment, that is kind of like my guilty pleasure. It's just, I like to move around and I like to be in different environments. I like to be warm. So another thing is just to, you know how I do, I just escape the cold. I also, I really enjoy, and it's just kind of like it calms my nerves, is I love thrift store shopping. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I won't even buy anything. It'll just be like, it's like a treasure hunt. Like, how many old family reunion t-shirts can you get through before you get to like that, you know, Valentino vintage t-shirt that nobody knows is even in here and you're freaking out. You know what I'm saying? I know you know, because me and you bonded over our love of thrifting and upselling and vintage and all of that. So I would be doing that. Post-quarantine, I'm doing a lot of coloring. I don't know about y'all, but I love coloring. And art was like a first love of mine. Drawing, sketching, coloring. And so people are like, you know, I post on Instagram sometimes my coloring and stuff. And people are like, where's this come from? I'm like, dude, I'm a makeup artist, homie. Like, that don't connect for you, 1 + 2. But actually, that's how I started getting really into art. Is as a kid, is like I really like drawing faces. So it's now as a makeup artist, I really pay attention to just like detail and structure and all of that, and it's fun. It's very therapeutic. So I color. I've been doing a lot of solo dance parties up in here and karaoke by myself with, you know, my music turned up loud. Yeah, and then like I'm still working, but my work is different. You know, I can't I'm not working as much as a makeup artist on set right now, but a lot of my speaking and my other work is abundant right now. So I'm still working in the middle of the day. So yeah, so I'm keeping it all balanced, but I'm enjoying keeping my creative muscles working.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if Dre wakes up and you're not feeling up to par, who puts your cape back on? Like the days where you just don't mentally have it.
So who or what?
Who and what, and or whichever.
The who is me, because one thing I've learned is like I love my support circle, but if I can't put my cape back on, ain't nobody else gonna do it for me. So I gotta remember to always have the ability myself. So it's like, you know, when you wake up and it's just like, oh, it ain't it. Can we have a do-over? Like, I need, yes. Like the way we all feel about 2020, how we want to do the whole year over.
Rewind.
We just want to start fresh.
Just erase that one.
Yeah. Ooh, I need a retake. When I get those days, I think the what is gratitude. And so if I am in my bed and I am having even the smallest ounce of, you know, self-pity or discouragement or whatever, I really, you know, there is no better like antidote to that I know of than doing some gratitude accounting, which is literally taking inventory at arm's length. Like while you are horizontal in that bed, at arm's length, I can touch 100 different things that I have so much of a reason to be grateful for, that before I get out of this bed, I need to shut up all of this, you know,
pack it up, throw it out.
Negative self-talk and speaking out of lack, and I need to, you know, switch my narrative. And usually that, you know, that gets the sister right, you know?
Yeah.
That, you know.
Because you have your tribe, yeah, to speak affirmations, but you have to be able to pick your bootstraps up, lace them up, put your big girl panties on, and keep it moving.
Yeah. And the thing is like, it's good because we're learning now. We are all in isolation, for you know. So if you don't get to see the power of your own magic in these times, this is why I feel like a lot of us are getting that lesson of who am I to myself, and how am I keeping my cup full? Because truth be told, we do need people. That's why we build community. But don't forget, your community starts with you. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you got to make sure that you are staying self-affirmed. So, or I do that. I like to speak from the I like to stay self-affirmed.
Yeah. But I mean, everyone needs to as well, because guess what? Where else you going to go in quarantine?
Who you going to yell at? Yourself in the mirror?
Who you going to yell at?
Yeah. So, big, huge facts there. Yes.
What or who inspires you?
Oh, you know what? Transformation inspires me. Mm-hmm. Now there's a lot of who's. Like, I just be feeling like people are just really dope, and people who live in their authentic kind of like skin, who like I can look at them and I'm like, oh my God, they're so comfortable in their skin. They're so they give themselves so much grace. I love that. That's inspiring, because that's something I'm working on, because I am often my worst critic. But transformation and like the work that I do is both aesthetically transforming, but on this, you know, self-esteem and empowerment side of things, it is a different kind of transformation. So like when I see that happen, it's like, oh my God, no matter how tired I am, or no matter what Corona got me worried about, I'm still going to keep doing this, because I'm chasing the feeling of watching people positively transform. So I would say positive transformation, seeing someone, you know, really step into their power, whether that is putting on, like, doing their makeup and really showing them how amazing their skin is, or amplifying their natural beauty and having them just stand up straighter, or look at themselves with a different, you know, look in their eye, whereas before they looked at themselves with doubt, they're looking at themselves with possibility. Like, it's like that is what is my ultimate like inspiration. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now the next one. What or who is your biggest influence?
Biggest influence? That's hard. I thought about this. I know you sent me these, so I don't know why I'm acting like they're surprises. But I thought about this for a minute because ultimately, like, we are influenced by so much every day because we have access to so many people now. My family is a huge influence to me. You know how close I am with my siblings and my parents. And, you know, sometimes it's just like when people who you don't have to do anything to get to be affirmed by tell you how great you're doing, it that's influence right there. Like I go to my family and I haven't done nothing, right? I don't have anything to post. I didn't make, you know, there's nothing flashy going on in my life, and they will remind me of why I do what I do, simply because they knew me before I did anything. They knew me before any creds to my name. So they remind me of why my gift is not something that I get to put on and take off. It's with me all the time. So even when I'm having a low harvest, you know, they remind me, girl, why go talk to somebody, go influence somebody, go inspire somebody, go do something, because they knew me before any of this. So I would say greatest influence, but also greatest source of motivation, you know, which is a little different. My family, the girls that I work with, like, you know, I'm a Dove self-esteem educator, and I've been able to meet, I know now, and it's crazy when I think of the number thousands of girls, like young women, because it's not often you get to see yourself.
I mean, you spoke at the Essence Festival.
I did, and that was like the last 2 summers I was blessed to be at Essence with Dove, and the first summer we had these girls come from the local Boys and Girls Club, and I'm like, yo, these girls were magical. And as much as like I was hype about being backstage with like Mary J and all of these different things, I'm like, yo, I fanned out for these girls because we prepared something for in the weeks leading up to Essence with them, but I hadn't got to meet them. And like, it was like, yo, like finally seeing something come together. So the girls I get to work with, first of all, they make me feel cool because they teach me words that are not whack, like whack. They teach me how to talk to my young folks, but also they are really humbling in the sense that they don't want nothing from you but your authentic self. Because the truth of the matter is, you're never going to be cool enough to them. So they really just like, why don't you just be yourself, miss? Because, you know, like you good, you fine. So yeah, the girls that I reach with my empowerment work, and my family, probably greatest influences that I have going on right now.
So that goes into the next question, of course. What is your why?
Oh. You know what? I can't probably intelligibly say that without it taking forever. But what I will say is, why not?
Yeah.
After seeing the power to make someone leave you better than they came to you, why wouldn't you keep doing that? Yeah. What would make you stop doing that? So as much as like, I don't know what my greatest why is, because I'm still, as I discover things about myself and I explore my own growth, those get bigger. But I always say to myself, I sometimes have to pinch myself to realize, when I realize I get to do what I get to do, and it's like, it's on my tax return. Like, this is a real job.
This I get paid to do this.
I'm sitting up here like, wow, this is crazy. So it goes further when I can see the impact. And so as long as I have life in my body, my why is always going to be like, why not? Because once you've seen how one person can be transformed, it doesn't matter how big the rooms you speak in are or how big your social media following is. If that transformation happens once every time you go out to do your job, why not? Like, that's pretty much all I can say is like, why not?
Perfect answer.
Oh, thank you.
Now, what music is in rotation for you right now?
Honey, ain't we like? Please tell me I'm soundtracking my life because I'm in quarantine, so I
Yeah.
can't go no place. So I have to be like, I have to set vibes.
Yeah.
So right now, what's on rotation musically for me are things that put me in like a creative space or a space of like peace and relaxation. So I've been listening to a lot of Snow Allegra.
Mm-hmm.
She is my latest like music muse. I don't know if you've listened to her, but her voice is really unique. I think
it's angelic, like it pulls a
it just doesn't sound like nobody else. I'm running that Chilombo by Jhené Aiko. Like,
oh my
I've
God.
probably worn it out, but I'm not done with it.
Front to back every day.
Not done with it.
Every day.
I'm like, sis, when we hanging out? For real? When we hanging out, Jhené? Because girl, you just in my life. Not for real, but if she watching, like, we can all link up, go get some food. But no, so neither here nor there. So I love, I mean, I keep a lot of I'm a grown woman, so 90s R&B is on heavy rotation in the mornings because ain't nothing like some SWV and like some Jodeci to get you out the bed and get you starting your day. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, like I like to go on YouTube and put the videos on, because do you know what will make you grateful? Watching a video with someone checking a sky pager. You up here, we got AirPods, we got all these things, and we complaining, and a brother in a video in 93 was cool just because he had a sky pager.
Or them big car cell phones that was like,
oh my God.
I remember taking a picture with my mom's one. It's like, take up the whole size of your bed.
Yes. We call them Zach Morris phones, because that's what homeboy from Bayside High had on Saved by the Bell. But so I definitely gotta have that. I love Mally Music's new album. I mean, I love all his music, but he's really doing some really, really dope stuff. I love the Walls Group. Like, I'm into gospel music. Just anything uplifting. But they are just musically so talented, and they're like, I don't think any of them are over 30. Yeah. I'm like, their mama also is like snatched. Like, she looks so good. I'm like, yes, whatever the favor that you have on your skin is, yes, have your kids sing until that spreads to the whole world. Thank you.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that is what's on my, what should I be listening to? What you listening to that I'm not on?
I'm saying
you are young and
what I listen to. But I'm a trapper too. Like, I like the Trap Star, Sell Joe, headed to like my real estate, showing.
I think trap music is very, very effective in self-motivation.
I'm saying, like, I really love it. And I listen to like a lot of Kendrick Lamar and stuff. I have like a like I have Al Green. I'm multifaceted.
I know.
So
I'm here for that because, I think Al Green probably would have been very welcome in the trap.
Yeah.
And my sis is on, she be listening to Roddy. Everyone knows that Roddy Ricch is my sister's spirit animal. So, so that's what I'm rocking to. I may have to put a little bit more trap in rotation, because I do realize that's a good, like, get you out of the bed.
It is.
But you gotta go get this.
Nothing like selling some dope in your head and not being able to go to jail.
Be like, I really don't want to put poison in the community. But something about
I don't want to go to jail. Those two things
empowering for me right now.
But I'm saying, chopping it up and getting myself to get, like, it's no greater feeling besides women empowerment.
I think quarantine has brought out some people's trap dreams. And I don't think any dream is not worth exploring, people. Even if it's just by playing some Roddy Ricch every once in a while.
I'm saying, tap into all that greatness. Now, if you weren't in this field, what field would that be? Maybe your dreams as a child.
If I wasn't in this field, you know what? I was a tomboy for much of my childhood until high school, until I started like really crushing on boys and being like, so yeah, you like when I gel my baby hairs down? Okay, I'm going, and I had a sister that was like, people know me out here. I gotta hook you up. So I think the childhood me was a little bit more outdoorsy. Like,
you want to be like a park ranger.
No, girl, because I have no sense of direction, and that is required. I think maybe I'd run a camp, or I do like working with kids. I've learned that. I don't know. I feel like I love traveling, so maybe I would do something like, I would like if money didn't matter, like I would do like cave tours in Hawaii or something. I'd be like, all right, guys, you guys haven't gotten to the best part. Trust me. Like, I just feel like I have that personality. I can sell that.
I definitely can see that.
Yeah. I think something in the world like that, just to get that slight adventurous part of me activated.
And drive a Jeep Wrangler with like no
doors. With the top off. Yes. Just with it, be like, but yeah, no wild animals, nothing like that. Like I couldn't be the safari tour guide, because then I'd be like, y'all need to fend for yourselves, because I'm out. If something get loose, I'm out.
No liability. I don't have it for that. I'm sorry. I don't even have insurance. We don't have insurance.
I didn't sign up for this. But yeah, I think I would do something like that. Or I would just be a visual artist, to be honest. I would paint, or I would, and that still might happen, to be completely honest. Don't, in 10, 20 years,
I ain't gonna sleep.
Just like, when I'm really in my retirement and I'm just chilling, I might be like, y'all come look at my collection. I'm just painting stuff. Just painting stuff. Don't know what it's going to be, but stay tuned.
Bring wine. Now we all have our social media handles and business handles, but what would your friends and family say about you that we may not know?
Well, if anyone has been watching our Chew Got This Sister Challenge with me and Natalytical, I think she'll say anything, because she'd be just telling all the secrets on the live. I love you, sis. And y'all gonna meet her, because she's another empowered woman that likes.
She's on Monday.
And she's coming on Monday. And so, whatever she said about me, it's a lie. No, I'm just kidding. But my family would probably say, they probably will tell you I'm way more sensitive than people think. They get all my really, really good jokes. I save my good jokes for my family, because we like to laugh. I know. See, she already started. I save my good jokes for them, so they get my good material. I think they might say that I'm funny. And I'm starting to be the best poker player in the family. I've been kind of kicking butt on our little virtual family games that we've been having every night since quarantine. So they might tell you that I'm a chip champion.
Okay. The biggest crybaby.
Natalie says I'm the biggest crybaby. And she cries at like Dateline episodes. Like, what are you talking about? Like, she's way more emotionally available than me. But neither here nor there. That's what I think my family would say. They like me. They want to keep me around.
A true giving soul, yes.
Ah, thanks, Chew. I love you. No, I appreciate that. Yes, I appreciate. I received that.
Now, if you could give advice to your younger self, maybe 10 years ago or so, what would that be?
Okay, so I'm 37. So if I was talking to 27-year-old Dre, I have to actually punctuate that, because I remember her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would tell 27-year-old Dre to be gentler with herself, you know, to not, to have more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my 20s, I was a workhorse. Like I was pushing, working hard for my 30s. I was like, okay, we go kiki. So I
You're gonna
had
have
a lot more fun.
it.
But I would tell her to, you know, definitely not be so hard on herself and to enjoy her moments a little bit more instead of waiting, you know, just jump into the next thing, you know, what's the next achievement, what's, you know, I think I was just really focused on building a foundation, but I didn't give myself a chance to just enjoy that process of that
Yeah.
early kind of like make a bunch
The
of mistakes,
grind, the
be a
win.
little reckless.
Yeah.
So I probably would have told her that. I would have told her that I'm proud of her because
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I, you know, at 27, I was 5 years out of undergrad, and I think I needed to prove something to myself, you know, like no one in my family had lived, you know, had moved to a big crazy city and with really no rhyme or reason and a freelance job hoping that it turns permanent. Like all, you know, I just took a lot of risk, and by 27 I saw the fruits of those risks starting to come. So I was like, you know what? All
Work hard.
right, so don't be afraid to take leaps again, because look what happened. So I would say I'm proud too.
Yes. So if you could give advice to other young women or people that want to be in this field, that's empowerment or MUA, entrepreneurship, all that stuff, what would that advice be?
Well, one is no risk, no reward. I do not believe that we have to be reckless, but we have to be willing to put something on the line. You know, we have to be willing to see, we got to care enough, you
Yeah.
know, and sometimes caring enough means having enough to lose, you know, and um I think that it for people, because I consider creative work passion work,
Mm-hmm.
because for lack of a better way of saying this, it ain't gonna make you rich. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, don't let Instagram fool you. You know, being a makeup artist can definitely make you a wonderful living. And there are some people who are magically superstar, rock star makeup artists. But it is a living that you can survive on, that you can thrive on. But it's also something you really gotta like to hustle to get there. So you don't, you know, it's something you got to have some skin in the game on. So that's one thing that taught me. But also, like, if you care enough about your vision, you will leap with all of the faith that you have that it'll come true. So whether you're trying to start a business or you're trying to leave a corporate job, like, you know, a lot of women reach out to me and they're like, Dre, you walked away from a really nice 6-figure salary to be an entrepreneur. What the heck were you thinking? I don't know, but be honest. But what I mean, what I always say to people is, I'm like, there is a big difference between thriving and surviving, but we have to decide what they look like to us. And, you know, what I realized is the risk that I took got me closer to a higher quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to be willing to take them because they were not the quality of life that came from that was not immediately evident. So, you know, I would give that advice is to just trust yourself, take risks, and be patient. That would be the last. Hey,
Well,
Susan.
that's
Back to
pretty
you.
much that's all my questions, Trey. Of course, I knew you were gonna kill it because you're pretty awesome.
Takes
And
one to know one, Chelsea.
oh no, no, look, I'm just out here doing my thing.
You are killing it. I'm so grateful.
That's
Thank
it.
you for having me up here. This is so cool. And I should have wore my Empower Women shirt and I just thought about it, and I'm like, crap.
It's
Well,
okay. I
don't put it on
usually do
tomorrow.
every
You don't get
time.
post.
I do it every time, but today I had to, like, you know, dress up because
Oh no, I am here for all. You know that leopard is my look. What were we talking about in St. Louis? Leopard is my favorite mood. Okay, so thank you. I thought you did it for me, and go sell a house because I know
trying to
we love
like
you, Choo Choo.
I love you, Nat. Yes.
And my brother, my sister-in-law are up here too.
Oh.
But yeah, this is super cool. Thank you so much. And I can't wait for people to actually see this whole collection because you've been having a lot of really dope stories. And somebody needs to. I volunteer that if you are the last interview, I will volunteer to host it to ask the questions.
Okay.
So,
well, look,
you don't get.
Go. I got an interview for now. So I'll dig a little deep into my story because, you know, I'm more of the modest approach
But I know a lot of it, and it is, honey, you will cancel your Stars, HBO Plus, and everything membership to listen to this story because it is very real and very rewarding. And trust me, people need to hear it. So
thank you, Dre. Well, and it will be up on YouTube by this weekend, and I'll have cat video, so I'll send you all that good stuff.
Yes, I'll share it out. Thanks for everybody that came and hung out with us, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon. Thanks,
all right, love you, Chelsea.
I love you.
Bye, babe.
Bye.